TF2 has been without an update for such a long time. No new weapons, no new cosmetics, no new balance changes, no new anything really. Many players new and old are getting bored of the same old, and one of the most frequent questions I've been getting is, how do I keep this game from getting stale? It's probably because I've been playing this game for so long and still do to this day, but frankly, it's a lot easier to maintain that hype and keep things fun and fresh than people might think it is. In this video, I'll go over 5 things you should do in order to keep TF2 from getting stale and end up appreciating a lot more for years to come. We'll start with some of the more active tips for players that are still active in the game but are slowly feeling that urge of boredom. As we move along, we'll get to some of the more dramatic tips for those who are really on the verge of giving up on the game entirely. So sit back and open up your minds as I give you some treasure tips to be thinking about. One of the biggest things that hold players back is their inept ability to choose weapons, classes, and game modes that they prefer without ever expanding on other stuff in the game. Tip number 1, change up your routine. Perhaps you are a soldier main out there that plays nothing but soldier, with the meta loadouts on only King of the Hill maps. Well, if you constantly keep doing that over and over again, you're going to inevitably get bored of the constant routine. Switch things up a bit. That could mean find a new main, or hitting that random button to acquire more skills to improve your game set. You could even try out new weapons for the class and widen your horizon. With more tools in store, you can end up performing different strategies to outmatch anybody you go up against. Finally, you could try out some of the other game modes. There's control point, payload, attack, defend, capture the flag, lots of stuff to try out. There are tons of maps to play and there are lots of ways to tackle each map to keep things exciting in your play session. A change of pace could be just what you need to find that new something that has been missing this entire time. Sometimes the best way to find new things is to explore the stuff you neglected to see up until now. Open up your eyes and try out something new. You won't regret it. Perhaps you've already been doing that from the start. You've been an avid fan for some time and have tried out various things constantly. Well, have no fear, for this next tip will make the same old TF2 more colorful for everyone involved. If you've done everything and anything, then the next thing to do is share that experience with new people that you meet. Tip number 2, find a new community and/or make new friends. Absolutely, it can be as simple as befriending the random heavy you healed on upward, to exploring a vast amount of community servers out there to find a like-minded group of players to share the game with. As mentioned before, making friends in TF2 is one of the easiest things to do. Just go on one of your favorite maps, start playing the game, and if you happen to notice someone that you've shared some good times with, send them an invite. You can do this with multiple people and invite them for some games from time to time. It could lead to some awesome friendships and more. Who knows? All you gotta do is take that leap of faith and you'll be surprised to find that TF2 is a lot brighter with other people. If that's not your style, there are so many community servers to join with people that constantly play on said servers. From Skyle to Pony Saxton Hale servers, there are so many wonderful people to meet and Discords to be a part of. Once you've met that awesome group of people to enjoy the game with, that boring experience you had before completely changes with the other people. Share that love with others to keep the game alive for not only yourself, but for the people you hang out with as well. Maybe making friends is not your thing, or maybe you're indifferent about it. I don't judge. Being independent is more common than you might think, and this tip might just be the thing for you. From creative arts to creating guides, trying out new forms of the game can be just the motivation to keep you interested. Tip number 3, go outside of your comfort zone. This tip can be pretty vague, as it can mean many different things for many different people. Going outside of your comfort zone could mean challenging yourself to stay on a 24/7 2-fort server and just goof around instead of try hard all the time. It could also mean literally going outside of the game in order to join a community competitive league in order to be a better player and seek out new strategies overall. There are also creative means like creating art for the community, doing SFM posters and animation for TF2, creating maps and workshop items in your spare time, ways to create a different perspective in Team Fortress 2 without necessarily being inside the game. Setting goals outside of the normal can be a good way to keep things interesting and burn a bit of time before a new update arrives. Hell, even trading can be good. Trade up to that hat of your choice and create the best loadouts you can buy. There is such a huge variety of things to do in this game that can be a real eye-opener and reveal talents you didn't know you had before. Look at me! I became a YouTuber and a streamer in order to make guides and help new and old players enjoy the game that much more. If someone like me can do it, certainly you guys can do it too. Find that creative outlet and break the barriers you've set for yourself to improve the enjoyment you'll get out of Team Fortress 2. I've got 2 more tips left in the bag, but these tips are going to be a little bit more on the realistic side of things. Perhaps you've been playing for many years and or have done all of these things that I've mentioned already. You're losing that grip on the game because, well, you simply don't care anymore, but you somehow really just don't want to let go. I'm here to tell you that those feelings are very mutual with a lot of people watching. I'm sure a good chunk of people who clicked on this video are going to feel this way and just want to know if that feeling is good to carry around. Tip number 4, take a small break. It's really that simple. You don't necessarily have to play the game all the time time in order to prove your love for the game. Many people stop playing because it just got a little too stale, but they still love the game with all their hearts. They just want something new to appear and they'll wait for an update before coming back. You don't need to cling to something all the time. There are lots of games out there to sate your time, and before you know it, you'll either have that itch to play again or an update will come out and give you a reason to enjoy it all over again. A small break doesn't necessarily mean a long break. It could be like picking specific days to play or limiting your playtime to an hour a day. Clinging on to TF2 or anything really just isn't healthy. Open your worldview with new games and communities. You aren't limited to just TF2. Take the small break you need in order to rest your mind and enjoy other things in life. TF2 will always be around to play. Even if the devs say that the game won't be updated anymore, there'll always be a community of people playing regardless of the devs' commitment. Come back when you're ready and take things one step at a time. We're on to our last tip of the video, and frankly, some of you may have already gone past the break phase. You've done your time, but even when you come back after a few weeks, even months maybe, it's just not the same and you just can't get back into it. This is going to be a really heavy subject, but here we go. Tip number 5, take a long break. What's the difference between a short break and a long break? Well, a short break is there to ease the people who may feel a slight unease but don't actually feel like giving up on it. Whereas a long break is for people that, well, might as well throw in the towel. Am I basically saying that you should give up on the game at this point and move on? Not necessarily. It just means that TF2 has come to the point where it is now a back pocket game. Take Mario Odyssey for example. You may or may not have played the game before. It's a whole lot of fun, but once you've completed pretty much everything there is to do in that game, there isn't really a point of playing it again. You probably won't touch it for a good couple of months, maybe years, before you'll want to start over because of nostalgia. TF2 has now officially become that game for you, a back pocket game that you'll go to once every couple of months or years. Feels sad, right? Especially when you put so much into the game, but if you gotta question it so much, then it's probably for the best that you move on. Not fully move on, mind you, but like, find a game that will give you that same passion that TF2 once did in the past. It's not healthy to cling on to broken relationships, game-wise in this case, because it'll just make you unhappy. Moving on can be a healthy way to enjoy the things you like without harming you or other people's enjoyment in the process. You've taken the steps to improve the enjoyment and they just aren't working anymore. Close up shop and open it again when you're ready. No shame in that. Like I said, the game will always be around, and whenever you're ready to play it, I'm sure you'll have a clean start and see things you never saw before. And that was basically it. 5 tips on how to keep TF2 fresh and exciting after all these years. Took a turn for the realistic at the end there, but sometimes the best advice is one that'll punch you right in the gut and sting you the next morning. Take these tips how you will and enjoy the game for years to come. Even if the devs decide to release updates once every 2 years from now on, there's so much to explore that after nearly 12 years, I'm still kicking and enjoying every second of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to let me know. Every sub counts and it only takes 1 click to help out the channel. Also, if you manage to hit 50,000 subscribers, I'll be doing a super duper unusual giveaway. So if you got the message, be sure to put in all caps TF2 forever to let me know. Remember to be awesome, stay awesome, and to have an awesome day. I'm Rob the Awesome, and I'll see you guys later. Ciao for now.